what is the average property tax rate for the type of property in city and state? Again, it will give you these responses, but it's based on how good your prompt is. So ChatGPT, what is the average tax rate for a duplex in Houston, Texas? And it will give you the number. I've done all these. I've tested all this stuff out already. So I know what the responses look like. Let's talk about these ChatGPT prompts, okay? I've given the algorithm enough time now to kick in so that people know that we are live. Today, we are going to be discussing the ChatGPT prompts that you cannot do business without. All right, before I get started, there are some prompts that you shouldn't use it for as of April 2025, okay? The reason that I am suggesting this, or the reason that I included in this slide, is because I did do a little bit of research on some other training videos and done by real estate investors, real estate influencers, real estate celebrities, TikTokers, whatever. I've done research on this, and then I went back and looked at some of their videos, and some of the stuff that they were saying in 2021 or 2022 or even 2023 in 2023 or 2024 with ChatGPT, their videos were saying that the information that ChatGPT was giving them was based on information as of 2021. All right, so things have changed now, and AI has become much more sophisticated, and now it is still using current data from 2024 and 2025. But there are a few things you don't want to use ChatGPT for. Do not use ChatGPT for these things. In fact, you probably want to stay low tech for them. The first one, don't ask it to comp out a deal for you. All right. Do not ask ChatGPT to comp out a deal for you. I am speaking from personal experience. I have seen what ChatGPT does. And if you ask it for a property, if you provide it with a property and you suggest that you prompt it to give you the ARV or what the property is worth, it will actually give you comps that number one aren't a true comp. When I did this a few times, I had it comparing a single family residence to duplexes. So I'd give it a specific address, and then it would give me a duplex for a single family residence. You cannot compare a single family residence to a duplex. That's the first thing. The second thing was it was giving me comps that were 6 months, sometimes even 8 to 12 months old. I'm not saying those comps aren't good. I'm just saying there's probably more current comps because I was doing it in a much more suburban area. So I know that there were other sales locally. And when I comped it myself, found better comps than the one ChatGPT was giving me. So number one, it was giving me comps that weren't apples to apples. It was giving me duplexes to a single family residence. That was the first miss. The second miss was it was giving me comps that were much older when there were much more recent sales that could be found. Again, this is one of the flaws when you're using AI or ChatGPT to comp it out. And then the last thing is when you're using ChatGPT to give you comps, it doesn't know how to distinguish between, hey, I can't cross over that freeway. Hey, I can't cross over that mountain. Hey, I shouldn't be comparing this house on one side of the lake to another house on the other side of the lake, or I shouldn't be comparing a house that is waterfront to a house that is more within the inner city, in the streets, that doesn't have waterfront. So it's not able to detect that quite yet as of April 2025. Is there a time where it will be able to detect it? I suspect that there will be a time because they're going to be able to supply more data points to it so that it can figure it out. But for right now, you're going to have to stick to comping it out yourself. Number two, don't ask it to quote repairs for you. That was another thing that I discovered. When I asked it to give me repairs on a particular property, it tended to give me repairs costs that were way much more expensive than the repair costs that we were quoting or anticipating. And so when you're doing this, if you'd use the $25, $45, and $75 cost per square foot to do a rehab, $25 being a lipstick fixer. And by the way, very few properties are lipstick fixers because a lipstick fixer is something that only needs flooring and paint. That's it, just flooring and paint. So that's typically going to run you about $25 a square foot. Just flooring and paint. Again, few properties are actual lipstick fixers. Now, a rehab property, a remodel property is going to run you about $45 a square foot to remodel it. And so that's standard. And then if it's a gut job, a property that needs a lot of repairs, is going to probably run you about $75 a square foot. Now, when I asked ChatGPT to give me an analysis of like what it would cost to remodel this property, I mean, it was giving me figures like like $25,000 for the bathroom, and then $30,000 for the kitchen. And it was basing it on information that it was extracting from the web in particular cities, because I tested this out in multiple cities, and the cost to remodel these houses was very, very expensive. They were using super, super high-end contractors. And so my recommendation is don't ask it to quote the repairs for you as of April 2025 right now. It's probably not going to give you a good enough job, or it's going to throw your formulas completely off. Number three, don't ask it the likelihood of you being able to sell the deal. All right, that's not going to, what is the likelihood of me being able to sell this particular deal? It can't do that, but I'm going to show you how it can answer some of the other questions. So those were the three prompts that you don't want to use ChatGPT for yet, not quite yet. You'll have more luck with an 8-ball, the magic 8-ball, or a Ouija board than you will using ChatGPT. That's my, little sense of humor. Whatever. Things that ChatGPT can do for you as of April 2025. Number one, it's all about the prompt. I said that earlier. The better that you get at giving it good prompts and giving it the information that it needs, the better that ChatGPT will be at giving you the intended results or what you need it to provide you with. It's all about the information that you give. Case in point. Oh, okay, we'll talk about this too. Sometimes it's better to start a new chat. This is the other thing. So when you're using ChatGPT and you start a chat, and this also applies to a few of the other AIs, including Gemini, including Copilot, then there's Gronk. This applies to them all. When you start a chat or a thread, whatever you want to call it, and then it continues to give you the same type of response, sometimes it's almost better to just go and start a new chat and retype in the information or copy and paste the same request in a second time. What AI does is it has a memory bank. And so what it's doing is it's storing all of your prior questions, and it's trying to mix this information, all of your requests together, so that it can give you the best results or the intended result that it thinks you want to see. So if it continues to give you the wrong answer or something that you don't want, what I used to do is I would just rephrase the question within the same chat thread different times, adding context, removing text, and changing it up within the same thread. And all that did was it continued to confuse it, and then it just wouldn't give me anything that I really wanted. So if you start to see that happen, then what you're going to do is you're going to start a brand new conversation, a brand new thread, and re-ask the question again so that it's a brand new chat. Okay, that's really what you should be doing. And if you've been using this stuff to create images, you've seen this happen with images as well. What you'll prompt it for an image, and then it gives you something that you don't really like, and then so you'll say, add clouds, remove clouds, or add, a background, remove a background, and then you keep doing this, and eventually it keeps giving you the same result, and you keep rephrasing it, and it's not really giving you what you want. Stop it. Just start a brand new chat. Okay, just so you know. AI is more powerful than you think and can complete more tasks than you and I are using it for. So this is not just for you to create images, all right? A lot of people do use AI to create images. They use it to do a whole bunch of other stuff, flyers. Now all these advertisements that people are making using ChatGPT 4.0, but it's much bigger than that. And if you learn how to use it with the correct prompts, it can do much, much more for you. This is the first prompt, okay? Prompt number one. Where are the most single-family cash transactions happening right now? Let me repeat that and do that over again. Hopefully, the people who help me edit this video afterwards can take this out. Where are the most single-family cash transactions happening now? This is a prompt that you want to get good at asking ChatGPT on a regular basis. Probably once a week, you should be asking these questions, because if you are a real estate investor, if you are a real estate wholesaler, you need to know this. This is the markets that you want to be in. You want to be doing business in those markets where there's cash transactions. So you want to know, where are the most cash transactions happening, because that is where the most investor activity is happening, and that's where you want to be doing business. But Paul, if there's all this competition and all these people are doing business there, then why do I want to do business there? Why would I want to go jump in a pond where everybody is fishing? Because that's where you want to be, right? That's how it works. If you look at a restaurant and look at that business model, there's a term called restaurant row. And restaurant row is where all the restaurants go and they basically congregate their businesses together and they're all competing against one another. So on restaurant row, there's not just going to be one or two restaurants. There's going to be three, four, five, six, seven different restaurants. Some of them are even going to be the same type of food, and yet they still all want to be on restaurant row, on restaurant road, because they know that there's going to be all these traffic from people coming in trying to get different styles of food, right? Same thing here. You want to go where there's going to be additional, where everybody's competing, because you know that that's where the business is. You don't want to go where there's no business. You don't want to go to some rural area in Timbuktu. I'm not going to name any particular states because I don't want to offend anybody, but we'll just say Timbuktu. And you don't want to be, trying to wholesale deals in Timbuktu where no investors are buying. You want to go where there is the most cash activity. So that's why this is one of the best prompts for you to use on a weekly basis. And then you attack those markets. What is my MAO? MAO stands for Maximum Allowable Offer on a type of property. This is where your prompts are very important. What type of property is it? Is it a single family residence? Is it a duplex? Is it a condo? Is it a townhome? Is it a warehouse? Is it vacant land? What is my maximum allowable offer on a type of property, single family residence, that has an ARV? Now it's up to you to find out what that ARV is. That's where you have to get good at comping. You provide it with the ARV. Don't expect it to give you the ARV. You give it the ARV. Again, prompt that has an ARV of and has repairs cost. Now you have to calculate the repairs cost, and we've already talked about that. $25 for lipstick, $45 for rehab, $75 per square foot for gut job. That's it. You calculate the repairs, you input it there, and I want to assign it for a fee of, and then you put your fee in there. $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, put all that in there. When you give it this type of prompt, ChatGPT, what is my maximum allowable offer on a single family residence that has an ARV of $500,000 and has repairs of $40,000, and I want to assign it for a fee of $20,000. It will spit out what its recommended maximum allowable offer is for that deal, for that property, right? And it'll do it based on those numbers. It already know. You'd be surprised. And once you do this consistently over and over, it records all of your requests. So it starts to figure out what you like to see and what you don't like to see, and in the manner that you like to see. And more importantly, it starts to adjust its formula based on your feedback. So all those times that the prompts ask for, was this useful? Did you was this what you were looking for? And it asks for the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Every time that you click on that thumbs up, what it's doing is it's teaching the artificial intelligence. It's teaching the AI what you want to see in the way you want to see it based on the prompts that you are giving it. So it's like it's almost a mirror. It's reflecting you based on the input that you give it and your satisfaction of the output that's giving you. All right, keep that in mind. So this is a very important prompt. This is one that you're going to be using on a regular basis. Number 3, what is the cash on cash return for this wholesale deal? Right? So once you've done that question where you've asked it for the maximum allowable offer in the same chat, in the same thread, you can then go back and say, whatever, give it the thumbs up. Thank you. That's always weird to me. I find myself as I'm using, AI, being polite to it as if it's a real person. That's the weirdest thing. So I'll type out thank you, and it's AI, whatever. What is the cash on cash return for this wholesale deal? Now what you can do is prompt it to give you that response, and you'd be surprised how it breaks it down for you in a formulaic pattern so that you can see what the cash on cash return is if an investor asks for it. Now, some investors, they don't really care. Some investors aren't looking for a specific cash on cash return. Some investors are just looking for a specific percentage return. You're going to have some investors that are looking for a flat fee return. I've spoken to investors that say something along the lines of, "Look, as long as I'm making $30,000 to $45,000 per flip, I'm okay with that." And they operate that way, and that's okay. But there's going to be some that are going to ask you, "What type of cash-on-cash return am I going to receive by buying this deal?" And you can ask ChatGPT that question, and it'll give you that figure, and you can give that percentage to the investor or to the buyer that you want to assign the contract to. If they ask, right? Why not ask it? I mean, it's there. Go ahead and get the details. Number 4, what is the average property tax rate for the type of property in city and state? Again, it will give you these responses, but it's based on how good your prompt is. So, ChatGPT, what is the average tax rate for a duplex in Houston, Texas? And it will give you the number. I've done all these. I've tested all this stuff out already. So I know what the responses look like. I just didn't want to do it in real time because I thought that would be kind of boring, you just watching me do it on the screen. So I'm telling you, and I'm suggesting that you do this yourself. And if you want a copy of these slides, send me a direct message and I'll send you a copy of the slides so that way you know what you're doing. But this is a great prompt. What's the average property tax rate for, a commercial warehouse in Houston, Texas? And it'll give you that figure. Okay, it'll give you those numbers. These are important numbers that you're going to probably want to know as you're trying to dispo, as you're trying to assign a contract to an end buyer. Number 5, what is the average rental rate for type of property, single family residence in, again, let's just say Houston, Texas, okay? You can give it these prompts and it will obviously crawl the web and it will pull all this information from Zillow, from Redfin, from Trulia, from LoopNet, from Cole. It's pulling all this data and then it's going to give you the average rental rate for that type of property in that type of city or in that type of state, as opposed to you having to go out there and do it yourself. Before, we used to use something called Rental Meter and we would pay or subscribe for that. Now you just ask it for the average rental rate and it'll give it to you. Is it going to be 100% accurate? Probably not. You can go out and do some double checking yourself, but it's not that far off because I checked it out myself. So this is another tool that you could use when it comes to using your ChatGPT prompts. What is the average cap rate for type of property in city and state? So for those of you who are doing multifamily deals, for those of you who are doing commercial properties, for those of you who are doing warehouses, you're going to need to learn how to get a cap rate. And this can do it for you. It can do all the heavy lifting for you. What is the average cap rate for type of property in city state? It'll pull all the information, it'll crawl the web, it'll get it, and then it'll spit that out to you so that you know. Then what you can do is you can compare the average cap rate versus what you're thinking about selling the deal for. And you can ask it, what is the cap rate for type of property? Let's just say we just assigned a deal over in Houston, Texas. It was a bar, believe it or not. It was a complete teardown. It was zoned for a bar, but it was also residential. It's very strange. So type of property, right? So we'll say commercial property with GRI, gross rental income. So you're going to need to know how to get the gross rental income, but I already know that this property was 1,000 square feet and it would probably go for, I think it was like $2.50 or $3 a square foot if they were to lease it out to a bar. So that came out to about $3,000 a month, which was $36,000 a year. That's the gross rental income. That's my GRI. And then expenses. Now, if you have a seller that is able to give you all of their expenses, great. Now you have all of their expenses and you can just provide it to ChatGPT. If you don't, and the seller doesn't know what their expenses are, you can just use an average of 30% expenses. So in this case, 30% of $3,600 is almost 10 grand, a little bit more than 10 grand. Located in city and state, taking into account local tax rates, right? Again, prompts, all about your prompts, taking into account local tax rates and what's the purchase price going to be, right? Whatever the purchase price is going to be, you put that price in there, it will spit out the cap rate for you. So now why is this important? Because before you were asking it for the average cap rate in a particular city. Now you're giving it and all the information that it needs in your prompt for it to tell you what cap rate you have. So if you know that the average cap rate in a particular city is 6%, but your cap rate is like 2%, and by the way, if you're brand new and you're looking at this and you're thinking to yourself, I have no clue what the hell this guy's talking about, with cap rates, that is a tool that people use to determine the value of a property based on the gross rental income and the net operating income, which is the money that the investor would make by leasing that property out. That's what we're talking about here, okay? Now, cap rates work in reverse. So the lower the cap rate, the more expensive the property is. The higher the cap rate, the better the deal the property is. It works in reverse when it comes to cap rates, okay? If you're looking at this for the very first time, I don't want to confuse anybody. But my point is, for those of you who are going to be dealing with multifamily properties, 5 units or more, 4 units or more, and people want to know the cap rates, this is how you're going to do it. And you can use ChatGPT to do it for you, and they'll do all the heavy, it, him, her, do all the heavy lifting. All right, other things that you can use ChatGPT for. I'm going to give you some bonuses. This is some other stuff that you can use ChatGPT for instead of just making cute images about you, Gilby style, or making action figures of yourself. This is the other stuff that you could do. Number one, you can create a spreadsheet, okay, with data with the headers that you provide. So for instance, I subscribe to InvestorLift. So for those of you who have deals and you want to get them on InvestorLift and you can upload it for free now, but the upper tier, the higher tier subscriptions are obviously going to get more exposure. The deals are going to be seen a lot more. So anyway, the point is that you will get buyers that inquire about a property, and InvestorLift, just like any other provider, doesn't necessarily want you taking their data or their buyers out of the system. But if you just copy and paste all of it, and then you paste it into a spreadsheet, it's difficult to organize. So what you can do is you can literally copy and paste all of the data, put it into ChatGPT, say create a spreadsheet or a table. You're better off saying create a table, and it will create a table with these headers, and buyer name, buyer email, buyer score, buyer phone number. You instruct it to do that on the table, and then you say delete all additional information. And then you put it, here is the order in which the data is being provided, and you tell it, and it'll figure it out, and it'll create a table for you. It's amazing, okay? It's amazing because there's a lot of times where you get all this data and you're like, what do I do with this stuff? Or you just copy and paste data and then you want to try to paste it into Google Sheets or a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, but you can do it within ChatGPT. And I've done this with zip codes too. So is it not in here? So there was a time where I would just say, what are all the zip codes in Indianapolis, Indiana? And then I'd go to a website and it would give me all these zip codes, and then I copy and paste it, and then I would ask ChatGPT to create it in the form of a table or comma delimited or whatever it was that I needed to do. You'd be surprised how it can do this stuff for you so that you don't have to do it yourself. Another thing, it can generate 20 unique SMS marketing messages under 160 characters to reach out to property owners without saying buy your house or sell your home. Before this, when we were using other tools to do SMS marketing, including using companies like Launch Control, we would have to come up with about 15 to 20 different variations of a SMS marketing messages. Now, if you're going to do any type of marketing messages, SMS marketing messages, you need to make sure that you comply with all your local, state, and federal laws. Okay, I'm not telling you to go out and do this stuff, on your own and get yourself in hot water. I'm just telling you that this is a way for you to be able to create unique SMS marketing messages for sellers that have opted in to get your message. Okay, very, very important. Another thing that you can do, what are the top 10 keyword phrases motivated sellers are typing into Google in my city? That's another prompt. You can type that out, and now what are the top 10 keyword phrases. If you've ever done PPC on Google, it's not as easy as it seems, and this way you can figure out all the top keyword phrases. Create a 52-week email campaign. It'll create that stuff for you. Create a property sales description. I love it when it does this. You can say, hey, create a property sales description for 1234 Mockingbird Lane. It has 3 beds, 2 bath, 1,500 square feet. It needs about $60,000 in repair. ARV is about 700,000. Asking price is 430,000. It's right next to a waterfront property. You give it all the details, it'll give you a property sales description. You don't even have to think about it. All right, and it's really, really good. Um, so there's a lot more things that you can do with ChatGPT. In fact, if for those of you who are trying to come up with a website and you're using tools like GoDaddy, I'm going to leave you with this last one. You're using tools like GoDaddy or Wix or any other, even WordPress, right? One of the biggest pains is trying to convert your idea into HTML. And the beautiful thing is that you can, I know that there's AI sites now that you just give it a website and it'll try to replicate it for you. But let's say you don't want to replicate a whole site. Let's just say that you want to create a landing page. You can, right, tell it what you want it to say, what images you want to use. You can prompt it. Again, I say this all the time. It's all about the prompts. And when you give it the correct prompts, AI will give you what it thinks that you want to see. So that's why it needs your feedback. So what you do is you give it the what it is that you want the website to look like. You even give it the fonts. You even give it the images. Here's the image I want in the background. You upload it in there and you say, give me the coding for this in HTML, and it will do that for you. Then you just go into your site and you go into the HTML editor and you paste in the HTML, and voila, you've got your landing page or your site or whatever it is that you want to do. Let's say you want to collect payments for whatever reason, right? You want to collect a payment for something. I'm just throwing this out there. You go to PayPal, you set up your PayPal account. Then PayPal will give you widgets. It will also give you buttons. Then you take that code that it gives you, you put it into ChatGPT and you say, convert this into HTML, make sure that it's centered, add this image as the background, whatever you want to do to tweak it a little bit. And guess what? It'll do it for you. It'll give you the code and then you can paste it back in. That has been a massive time saver for me, especially because back in the day, I had to learn how to do WordPress coding and WordPress sites just for our real estate websites. And now I don't really have to do any of that. I just go in there and I ask for the HTML code. If you want to learn more stuff like this, you can go to our Dispo Dragons Dollar Club. You can go to school, SKOOL.DispoDragons.com, school with the K.DispoDragons.com. It costs $1 to join for lifetime access. Sorry, not sorry. It's $1. Deal with it. Now, I get people that are like, well, Paul, I can get this information anywhere. I can go onto YouTube and I can see all this stuff there. Why do I have to pay you $1 just to join your dollar club? Here's the deal. You can get this information. You can learn this information from a variety of other people that are teaching it. I obviously have my own flavor. I have my own style for how I like to do it. I use presentations. I use slides. I'm a little bit of a nerd. I like to do these things. Some people don't do that. Some people just get in front of the mic and they just talk. Yes, you can find this information anywhere else. Here's the reality though. You're not paying $1 so that you can get this information only. What you're doing is you're joining a tribe, you're joining a community of other like-minded individuals that want to succeed in this business. They want to improve their lives, they want to improve their families' lives, they want to improve their communities, they want to make a difference. And when you surround yourself around other people that are looking to improve themselves and are of like mind, what you now have is a support system so that you're not just trying to do this business by yourself. You're not a one-person island. Can you succeed doing this business by yourself? Absolutely, 100%. You can learn this all on your own. Or for $1, you can join a community, meet other people, network, ask for help, look for other people's input so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that they've made, and you can learn from what they've already done, and you could speed this process up. Right? So go to school.DispoDragons.com. It's $1 lifetime access. You'll have access to everything that we teach. Please make sure that you like and follow us. As I mentioned, more than 50% of the people that are watching these videos, you're not subscribers, you're not followers, you're not an OnlyFan. So make sure that you click on the subscribe button, click on the bell icons, click on the alerts so that way you know every time we go live. I haven't been able to go live for almost a week now, just because over the last week we've been slammed with new opportunities, new deals, new business, new mentees, people that we are coaching, and we are looking for mentors. We're looking for people that are averaging about 1 to 2 deals a month that would be able to also help us with some of the people that are looking for assistance within our organization in our profit sharing mentorship. So if you are a veteran wholesaler and you're closing at least 1 to 2 deals a month, and you'd love the opportunity to mentor other people and participate in the profit sharing, right? Because you would also get a percentage of any deals that they bring to the table in exchange for you mentoring, walking them through the entire process. Please let us know, because we're looking for additional mentors to help us with the students and the mentees that are joining our group. So I look forward to talking to you guys soon. If you need any help with any deals, or if you need restructuring, if you need someone to look at them, if you want someone to give you an ARV, or what I feel or what we feel as an organization would be the best exit strategy for that opportunity and the ideal buyer for that opportunity, send me a DM. We'll take a look at that deal. We look at every deal as a buyer first. That's one of the benefits of what we do. One of the benefits of being a good real estate investor and real estate wholesaler is that you can look at every opportunity first as a buyer. You can cherry pick the ones that you want to keep, and the ones that you don't, you can then assign those to other real estate investors for a profit. We will look at your opportunity as a buyer first, and then we will tell you, hey, listen, this one may not work for us. The numbers are a little too tight, or we just don't have the mental or financial bandwidth at this moment to be able to handle this opportunity, but we've got VIP buyers in most major metro markets. We can put it in front of the right buyers so that we can get your deal sold, so that you can get paid and that we can get paid as well. All right. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching this. Please give us a thumbs up, give a thumbs up, give us a thumbs up, a follow, and a like. We'll talk soon. Take care.